All right, Killer Ad Copy Workshop. So let me just say first that, man, I tell you what, copy's tough because there's so many different ways to do copy. Who here thinks they're good at copy? Okay, not too many people. Who here wishes they were better at copy? Okay, a lot of people. All right. So it's very hard to teach copy because copy is a very internal thing. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I feel that the worst copy is written by professional copywriters. I really feel that way because a lot of professional copywriters focus on things like grammar and just shit that doesn't matter. They don't have a soul in it. Why? Because they're a copywriter. They're telling your story. It's your story. So it's hard for them to tell it. Now, there are some very, very talented professional copywriters, don't get me wrong, but the most that I've seen, they weren't in your shoes. They didn't know what happened to you. So it's a little different, you know? I would rather see somebody pour their heart and soul at it. You guys remember JR's presentation yesterday where he said that he tried to do all this crazy copy stuff and all that, and then I just told him, I said, dude, just tell your story. Because whether you say it professionally with your words or not, your story is amazing. So I believe that writing good copy, if you're not going to follow a specific format, good copy comes down to just reaching deep down inside and finding something that happened that is really impactful and that you can use, something that changed your life, that you can use to change someone else's life. But sometimes it's hard to do that. That's a hard thing to do. So what I like to do today is try to give you guys a basic format, a basic sort of structure for ad copy. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. I'm saying that if you do it this way, it should work most of the time. Feel free to experiment, but this is the format I use 99% of the time, and it works, okay? So I want to talk for a moment about my nightclub. This is where I first learned to do this. So when I first opened my nightclub, I actually started it different than it ended up being. It was a sort of like wine, I tried to make it like a high-class like piano bar type thing. So I had different music. I had like piano music. I had piano guys come in. I had high-end food. Like I had these, like 6 plates of super high-end food and tapas and stuff. And I just thought it would be so cool to have that in my little town of Spring Hill, Florida. Well, what happened was we had a lot of people come, but they were all old. They had like 1 drink, maybe 2, and then they just sat there and listened to the piano guy and the jazz bands that I hired for the rest of the night. I didn't make much money. And I was like, well, fuck. It's like, this sucks, And I wanted it to be that thing. That's what I wanted, all right? So what I did was I realized I had to make a change. So this was how it was before. As you can see, it looks very nice. I remodeled it. It looks super nice, like a nice little sort of, for the area, classy bar. But notice there's not that many people. Without the people, I have no business. I started asking my customers questions, okay? And they were telling me the answers, but remember, these were not the customers I wanted. Okay, so I'm sitting there and I'm trying to think of my ad copy, and I'm trying to think of what I'm going to say in my ad copy, and I'm trying to do the thing where I'm like, okay, maybe if I just relate it to them, I can get more people to come. It didn't work, all right, because they weren't the right customers. So what I did was I started going out to every bar I could in the area, and I went and looked for the customers I wanted. Okay, and does anybody know anything about bars here? Okay, what's the one thing you need in your bar or club if you want it to thrive? What's the one thing? Women, okay? You need hot fucking women in your club. Why? Because the hot women come, and then guess who comes? The guys. And what do the guys have? Money, okay? The girls don't have to have money, okay? They're getting their drinks paid for 90% of the time, trust me. So you need women. So I decided, all right, I'll go out to all these bars and talk to a bunch of women. Not a bad plan. So I went out and I started asking. I said, hey, what do you like about this place? Like I would go to a bar and I say, what do you like about this place? And they think I'm hitting on them. I'm not. I'm just trying to make money here and figure stuff out. I've got a few numbers, but no. So I asked what they liked, what they didn't, why they came there, and what they wished was better. And after asking all this, I figured out that there was one key element, and that was this. That was, first of all, is anybody familiar with the Tampa area? Anybody? Okay. So in Tampa, woo! In Tampa, we have a little teeny tiny place called Ybor City. Ybor City is like the hot spot. It's 7th Avenue. There's like freaking like 30 clubs smashed together. And every single night, especially on weekends, it is like, I mean, there's just tons and tons of people. There's all these nightclubs. It's a hootin' tootin' good time, okay? Everybody loves Ybor City. However, you go 40 miles north, and in the suburbs, it's all like, Uncle Bubba bars. It's all holes in the wall. And so what I did was I realized that they wanted to go to Ybor. Okay, they're like, well, I was supposed to go to Ybor tonight, so I'm kind of hopping around. But actually, we're going to leave. We're going to go to Ybor. We're going to go to Ybor. We're going to be Ybor. I found out that everybody wanted to go to Ybor. And anything else that they chose was, if they decided to stay home, it was a second choice. Okay? So basically, I knew they wanted Ybor. I knew that was the desire. They wanted to go to have a good time at like a nightclub type thing. Nightclub type scenario. And there were no nightclubs in my town. So I'm like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the bar. I'm going to change the whole thing. Fuck what I want. I'm going to give people what they want. And I am going to change it. I'm going to call it Spring Hill's #1 party bar. I'm going to make it nightclub themed. I mean, it wasn't a big nightclub. It was still a bar, but I made it about as nightclubby as I could. I did all the nightclub stuff. I had bubble parties where I shot huge bubbles up in the air. I had all kinds of crazy stuff. No other bar was doing it at the time. And I made the change, and look who started coming to the bar. Oh, okay. And look who kept coming to the bar, all right? And look who else kept coming to the bar. It stopped being a sausage fest, all right? Okay? And the club flourished. It flourished because I made that one simple change. All I did was ask and plug it in. Now, I went from bad to good, failure to success, but in the middle was the ad copy that made me go from point A to point B. All right? So let's plug in your pain and your desire, because pain and desire are the two things that matter the most. People want something and they want to avoid pain. Human beings love to avoid pain, and they love to want things. If you know what that is, you can work with them. All right, so what I do is very simple in my ads, 99% of the time. I do a customer call out. I identify my customer. This could be anything from, hey, Spring Hill, or hey, Tampa, to, and you got to be careful because Facebook, you can't, sometimes they disapprove ads if you say like, hey, single ladies. You can't really say stuff like that because you're identifying them based on their gender, or, you can't say, hey, middle-aged women. You can't say that. But you can say, hey, Tampa, okay? Or another thing you could do is say something like, tired of your husband never helping? You're still calling out your customer. You're calling out an unsatisfied married woman. You don't have to say, hey, unsatisfied married woman. You say, hey, tired of your husband not helping? It's the same thing, guys, and your ad gets approved. So you can call out your customer through pain and desire. Their pain is their husband not helping. Hey, tired of your husband not helping? Or desire. Wish your husband helped more? You're still calling out your customer, but instead of using their characteristics or just saying, hey, Tampa, maybe it's a national campaign, you're using their pain or their desire. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. Then you have the story, which people love stories. I'll be the first to admit, I like to just teach people shit and get to the point. I struggle to tell more stories because I'm just not a story guy, and I know that's a huge thing with marketing. So I always make sure to tell a story in my marketing because people love stories. It's just how we're programmed. So you need to tell a story, and the best thing you can do here is tell a story. It could be a literal like a little sentence, or it could be a few sentences, or it could be a big long story. It really just has, in some fashion or another, lead them to an epiphany, okay? Very simple epiphany. It could be as simple as, did you know that more men die of cancer than women? It could be even that simple. Oh, I'm a man. I should be concerned about this. That's still a little epiphany, okay? It could be super small. So don't think you got to tell this huge, long story. It could be one sentence. Credibility. You're going to ask them to do something, probably opt in for some sort of PDF or webinar or bait or whatever, phone call, strategy call. You're going to ask them to do something, right? Why the hell should they do it? You got to inject some sort of credibility. Then you got to talk about the awesome thing you have, which free call, PDF, whatever. And then you simply go with where you can get it, which is you can download it here. Here's the link. Simple. Not much to talk about on that. Always reiterate why you need it. So here you get it here. If you want your husband to help more, or if you want to know the 7 things you can say to your husband throughout the day to get him to help more, then you want this guide, click here, okay? So reiterate why they want it. And then you have to choose an attraction. And this isn't in any particular order for the attraction. You just have to choose an attraction. Don't just say it. Say it while being super honest, or say it while being entertaining, or say it while being human, or be funny, be something, be something. Don't just be stale, all right? Grab their attention. You guys heard of like pattern interrupts? Okay, it's kind of like that in a way. So let me go into a little bit more detail. Customer call out. What do they want? Okay, pain. Desire is what they want. Pain is what do they seek to fix or avoid, and demographics, what qualifies them. So these are the 3 ways you can call out your customer. So for instance, if you are doing a chiropractor campaign, you could just say something as simple as, hey town, like hey Tampa, whatever, okay? Not much to say there. You can just call them out because, when people are scrolling on Facebook, they see stuff from everywhere. So if it says, hey Tampa, catches their attention. Hey, are you sick of this pain? Catches their attention. Do you want this thing? Catches their attention. All right, and it qualifies them. So it qualifies them to, if they don't want their husband to work harder at their marriage or whatever, they're not going to click, right? So now you're not wasting people going through your funnel. Like and also if you're using conversion optimization, you're helping Facebook, you're helping them. You're helping them figure out what are the best customers. You're kind of giving that gentle push because you're qualifying them from the very first sentence. So examples, as I said, hey, tired of, hey Tampa, or do you want to have your husband help more, or husbands that don't help suck, right? Whatever, okay? So for instance, let's say that we have a women's self-defense class in Orlando, all right? And they want to be able to defend themselves. That's a desire. The pain is they worry about not being able to protect themselves, prevent kidnapping, rape, burglary, whatever. These are painful things. Demographics, they are women that live in Orlando. Be careful about approval on this because if you do something like this, hey, Orlando ladies, are you looking to learn to defend yourself? While that's good, if we could get that to be approved, that would be great. But the whole Orlando ladies thing, that's probably not going to get approved. Has anybody ever tried an ad like that and it got disapproved? Yeah, it sucks, right? Sometimes you can do this and it can squeeze through and it can run for weeks, but eventually they catch it. Instead, you could say something like, did you know violence against women is on the rise in Orlando? Now, let me ask you, guys, did you know that violence was on the rise in Orlando against women? Guys? How do you feel about that? Yeah, okay. Ladies, seriously, did you know that violence against women was on the rise in Orlando? What do we do? But seriously, men probably don't care, all right? Maybe you'll get a few guys, but women, they're more likely to pay attention to it because they're like, really? If they live in Orlando, all right? Now, going back, if you said, hey, Orlando, are you looking to defend yourself? And another way you could do this to get around is you could just target women, and only women will see it. You might get a few guys, but you're not paying for them. But I kind of like something more like this because it really sets the tone. Now, you tell a story, and again, the story can be long, super short, depending on how much emotion the customer needs to invest, all right? So if you're talking about popcorn, not much emotion needed. If you're talking about life coaching, probably need some emotion. Everybody understand that? Okay? So, it's not hard to convince somebody to go to a restaurant, but life coaching, that's a bigger thing, so we need to dig down deep, okay? So that can affect the length of the story, because usually the more emotion needed, the longer the story, the less emotion needed. You could literally have 3 words, like popcorn. Must lead your prospect to a conclusion without telling them to believe in the conclusion, okay? So for instance, when we start with the whole violence in Orlando thing, or I'm going to show you an example in the next slide. I'll just show you the next slide, but it must relate to where the customer is in a journey. So look at the next slide. According to the University of Oregon, University of Oregon, women who took a 10-week self-defense training were significantly less likely to experience unwanted sexual contact than those who didn't, okay? So this is a little teeny story. So when you read this story, if a woman has been thinking about maybe taking a self-defense class, this could push them over the edge. Or someone who hasn't thought about it, maybe their sister has been chatting in their ear or something like that for a few weeks, but they didn't take it seriously, and they're like, really? Maybe I should check that out. So it leads them to the conclusion that maybe they should check it out. Maybe they should take self-defense. Or maybe they really want to take self-defense. Credibility. Why should you be taken seriously? What is your position or credentials? Depending, you may need very little or you may need a lot. Are you a doctor, certified personal trainer, self-made millionaire, chef? So, for instance, if you're a certified personal trainer, you could just say that. But if you want to teach somebody how to make money, maybe you need to be like making a lot of money or a millionaire or something like that. So if you want to teach somebody how to start their own tech startup, you should probably be a millionaire. But if you just want to teach someone to lose weight, certified personal trainer is probably fine. So the credibility doesn't have to be crazy, but it does have to give them some reason to listen to you. I'm John Nutcracker, a pro MMA fighter and owner of Nutcracker Self-Defense Gym. Okay? So for instance, if you said, I'm John, and I just thought I'd teach women how to punch, probably not good. That's probably not where they would want to go. But if you're like, I'm a pro MMA fighter, and I own a gym, oh, this guy's a pro MMA fighter, he probably knows something that could help me defend myself. So it's very simple. You just gotta inject some credibility. Awesome thing. It must add massive value by solving a problem. It can be as simple as a discount or as involved as a 2-hour webinar or event. And if you guys remember the value scale, again, popcorn or something, very simple little discount versus financial planning, maybe a webinar. I'd like to invite you to a totally free self-defense seminar this Saturday called the Nutcracker's Ball. Are you guys digging the, okay. See the connection? So this is the next component, right? So, I own this gym or whatever. Where, how to get it, clearly tell the prospect how to obtain the awesome thing. Don't overcomplicate it, all right? Don't make them just make them opt in. Don't make them, do this. I see these ads sometimes, they're like, click on this and scroll down I've literally seen them, scroll down to the bottom of our website and click on this button. No, just send them an opt-in page with the big button, done, okay? But tell them that they're gonna need to enter their name and email. Just shoot, and one thing you can do is you can say, give me your email so I can shoot it over. Don't say, enter your name and info to get on the list. Say, give me your email so I can send you. Because then they're like, oh, well, he needs to send it to me. Okay, now I'll give him my email. So that's a good, I noticed I had higher conversion rates when I did that. Use a short link for both trust and tracking. If you have this super long link, people don't like it, just use Bitly or the Google shortener, and that'll be good. This seminar is free, but you must register for a free ticket, get one here, okay? And then you put the link. Why you need it, you want to reiterate pain or desire, create urgency. So if you want to learn how to defend yourself, then you need this seminar, okay? If you want to learn how to cut your taxes in half using life insurance, then you need this webinar. Many people space out till the end, so wrap it up in one directive, persuasive sentence. So for instance, some people will scan an ad, but as long as at the end you're like, if you want this, you need this, sometimes people just read that part and they'll click. Or they'll at least read that and then go and read the whole ad again. If you want to learn if you want to learn to defend yourself in the real world, then you need this seminar. You need real techniques that work both in the cage and on the street. So that's the example for that. Choose an attraction. You can do a pattern interrupt here. Honesty, entertaining, funny, shocking, vulnerable, human, overly unique, or piss someone off. Check this out. If you want to learn to defend yourself in the real world, then you need this seminar. You need real techniques that work both in the cage and on the street. Not Mr. Miyagi karate BS, learn from a pro MMA fighter, okay? This works double-fold because there's kind of a little bit of gist in the martial arts world. You have karate guys, then you have MMA guys. And the difference is the MMA guys can actually fight. So when you throw rocks at the karate guys, hopefully we get some karate people on there to start complaining and posting negative comments, and then somebody else will argue with them, and then the engagement will go through the roof, and then guess what happens? You get a ton of exposure, and you get a ton of people registered for your stuff. It gets shared. It just helps. I've done that several times in ads. I did an ad one time for a waiting list for, I'm going to be doing a course on how to create better marketing videos. So in the ad copy I did, and I always, here's another tidbit for you guys. I like to do test ads. I like to throw out a quick landing page for like a waiting list, or hey, we're doing this training, I'll let you know when it's out. I throw it out. If I can get cheap opt-ins for it, I know that I got something. But if nobody's interested, okay, I just let it go, don't waste time. So I ran an ad for the marketing video thing, and in the ad I put, what did I put? I put, you don't need these, what did I say? I said, these arrogant, pompous film snobs to tell you how to make a video. You're a marketer. You don't need to learn all this crazy film school crap, because I don't know if you guys have ever taken advice from film people, but oh my God, they you don't know the f-stop of the whatever. They freak out if you don't know all this crazy stuff. And to me, I'm sorry, but if you want a blurred background, you buy this lens and you turn the fucker until the background is blurred. That's all you need to know. Okay, you don't need to know fucking f-stop. Who gives a shit? Just turn it until the background's blurred. Literally, that's all you need. So I decided to piss off the film people, and I got people bitching about it. Okay, and it drove engagement up. So you can do a bunch of different things, but I like the piss off method. So here's another one. This is an ad I ran for Dr. Chad here. Now, if you guys bought my course, you know this is I never tell you to change this copy. So look at this line of copy right here. It says, hey, Virginia Beach, which is, the demographic call out. This is Dr. Chad from Planet Wellness Chiropractic. That's his credibility. He's a doctor. Okay, that's all you need. You want to crack my back? Are you a chiropractor? Yes? Okay, all right. Are you not? Get the fuck away from me. All right? So that's it. Just say you're a chiropractor. Done. All right? And I'm doing something crazy to promote my chiropractic clinic. Now, why is this important? First of all, doctors never say shit like that. They never say, I'm doing something crazy to, promote my clinic. That's something you would expect from a automotive salesman, right? So right away, you're like, what the fuck? Did a doctor just say that? And now you pay attention to the ad. Also, he's being honest. He's literally saying, listen, I'm doing this so I can get more customers. I'm doing this to promote my business. People understand that. It's when you are dishonest that they don't like it. Like, oh, hey, want to win a free, come down and win a free car or whatever. Like, you're kind of being, if somebody wanted me to come down to their automotive dealership, I'd rather them just say, listen, we're trying to sell cars. We'd love you to come down for a free lunch. And if you want to buy a car, great. If not, I would be more apt to go then. But if they try to lie to me and make it this game, that turns me off. And I think it probably turns most people off. I don't like dishonesty. So when you're honest, you're saying, listen, I'm doing this to promote my business, it makes sense. And it also looks less spammy because, there was a time when, if you guys remember, there was, and it still happens, there's a lot of weight loss and chiropractic and neck pain ClickBank products surfacing around, and sometimes people mistake these ads for those ads. Has that ever happened to anybody? You've ran an ad and people like make a comment as if it's some scammy ClickBank product. And you're like, wait a minute, it's just a fucking chiropractor over on 7th Street, and it's confusing, but people are used to those type of ads. So when you say, I'm trying to promote my clinic, it makes more sense, all right? So then, you got the what does he got? I'm giving away 20 vouchers for consultation, digital x-rays, doctor's reported findings, and adjustments for only $19. That's right, you get your consultation, digital x-rays, doctor's reported findings, adjustments for only $19. This right here is sort of the why you need it. There's now no excuse to get your pain under control. Hurry, because I am only giving away 20 of these vouchers. There's the scarcity. Now, this is my ad, by the way. I did not quite follow the formula that I just told you, but about 80%. I'm not telling you you have to do it exactly. I'm telling you that if you use most of these components, it'll work, all right? This ad, as we talked about the other day, is done, I think we've spent maybe under $500, and it's done how many, 30,000 you said? $30,000. Guys, it's not that difficult. Yeah. Okay? It's kind of bullshit, I'll be honest with you. Look, guys, this is how I view it. I leave it to the doctor. It's not, hey, give away 20 vouchers, you guys figured out. You know how crazy doctors' offices are, right? You know how crazy they are. You really think they're going to count the vouchers? They can barely get the freaking times right. Last time I was at a doctor, I waited an hour and a half to see him. I sincerely doubt they're going to keep track of that. Not my problem. Listen, has anybody ever had somebody complain about that? Seriously, it's not a big deal. Okay? If they want to give away more, that's their business. That's how I view it. I also put, you know what I do on my landing page? I put a timer. I put I put like a 27-minute timer, and that actually increased my conversions. Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Who wants to see an ad that did 583 leads at $1.03 each? You guys want to see it? Yes. All right. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay, good. So this right here is an ad. One of my mentorship students, Diane Williams, we did this ad for her. Now, this, for the most part, followed the formula completely. First of all, her attraction was human or vulnerable. She's talking about a very vulnerable thing. She sells a product. It's a weight loss coaching, and she's doing a membership site as well. And she does private training for plus-size women, specifically for plus-size women. So the tone of her ad is very vulnerable, and that's okay, because download my free, curvy girl blueprint here. Click here. No, there's nothing to that. It's stale. So in this, we had to go and be real vulnerable. So call out, as a plus-size woman, I used to struggle with food, not knowing how to exercise, and dealing with abusive personal trainers. Now, if you're not a plus-size woman, you're not going to relate to that first sentence, so you're probably going to keep scrolling. But if you are a plus-size woman, and this is something that you feel too, most likely you're going to keep reading because it's going to catch your attention. So that's your call out. Story. 17 years ago. Oh, let me touch on one more thing. When we did her customer research, because remember, you're writing the copy, right? But in terms of what you say, you're assembling it, but in terms of what you say, your customer is writing the copy. So you can tell the same story, but the words you use are your customer's words. So we found out that in her customer research, they didn't know how to exercise, and there was a lot of abusive personal trainers. The plus-size girls, they thought that their trainers were abusive, so we had to hit on that, all right? And she felt that too, which makes sense because she is a plus-size woman. 17 years ago, here's the story. 17 years ago, I actually lost 70 pounds, kept it off, and kept my curves. That's it. There's your story. It's an ad. It's not a sales page, right? It's just an ad. Credibility. This led me to my calling in life, to become a certified personal trainer for plus-size women, and I have done so for the last 15 years. Okay, so she used that experience to become a certified personal trainer for plus-size women. She's credible. Awesome thing. I put together a free cheat sheet, how I lost 70 pounds and kept my curves by following these 7 simple rules. That's her awesome thing. And how to get it? You can get it here, simple, with the link. Why you need it. I really want to share this because it's been working for me and my clients for the past 16 years. That's 16 years of consistent results. I think I would want that. Now, I would have preferred if she put something like, but see, this is where it gets touchy, especially with weight loss. You got to be careful. And I actually, now that I remember, the reason we changed it, I think it was if you want to lose, it was something like if you want to lose the weight and keep it off, click here. But that didn't get approved. I couldn't squeeze that through because it's a way Facebook's touchy about weight loss. So when you can't get it approved, you just tone it down, and you say, I really want to share this because it's been working for me and my clients for the past 16 years. You be vague, you tone it down, you don't promise anything. So for instance, if I said, hey, if you want to make $1 million, click here, you can't say that. But if you say, hey, if you want an interview with 5 millionaires that all use the same technique, click here. Saying the same thing, but you're not saying, hey, I'm going to make you money, because Facebook's going to that. Get the free cheat sheet here, and then she has her little tagline, stay strong and stunning. And this did, like I said, it did 583 leads at $1.03 each, and she had a break-even offer set up, and her break-even offer didn't work out as well as I would hope because she veered off a little bit from the customer research, and she recouped a decent amount of her ad cost. But here's the beautiful thing. When she launched it to her list, she made money first and actually covered more than her ad cost. So she had enough money to test it. Now, when we tested it, what happened was she had a bunch of break-even offer sales, but not quite enough to pay for her ad cost. But all the money she spent on those ads to figure that out, she got from sending this out, this funnel out to her. And I believe her break-even offer was like the Curvy Goddess Black Book or something like that. I don't remember. But it was a long-form PDF. It was $14. She made a ton of sales. She made, I think, like $800 when she sent it out to her list. And then when we ran ads, she spent like $200, maybe made $100 or something like that. But overall, she had completely covered her ad cost. And she had room to play. So now she can adjust the break-even offer. And that's another thing, guys. If you have a break-even offer and it's not paying for your total ad cost, change it. Put something else in, split test it until it does pay for your ad cost. Work it out. But if you have a list and you send this out, boom, you can get some money together, set it aside, that's your ad money. So that's what she did. She got these for $1.03 each. This is the script used. And remember, the lower on the value scale, the less emotional investment needed in your copy, the higher, the more. She had to get a little bit emotional here. Now, in her video, it gets real emotional. She tells her story, okay? Again, popcorn, we don't need to tell a emotional story. Weight loss for plus-size women, you need to get a little bit emotional. So some people take what I say literally, and they go and they make, 17 years ago, I realized that I loved popcorn. Like, don't do that, okay? All right, speaking of popcorn, let's look at an ad about popcorn. Now, Brandon Lewis, Brandon's becoming a rock star. Do we have, no, we'll do that in the next presentation. I'm going to show you guys, did I line that up for this one? Is that one right under, is that this one? Okay, let me go ahead and play a video real quick. Brandon Lewis, he ran an event funnel. I mentioned this earlier for a local MMA gym. Let's just play this video real quick. All right, so check this out. Yeah, that was it. No. Boy, I look like I'm stoned as fuck. I'm not. But the the video still make it. Can we play that? This is a different ad that he ran, but I'm gonna show you another ad. So check this out. Okay. So Brandon, it's funny. I'm one of his students and he's one of my students.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah. So I train BJJ and striking with him, and he's learned how to run his own Facebook ad agency from me. So here's the funny thing. I have been telling everybody when it comes to martial arts schools that the single best ad you can do is an event, a free event, and get people all to the school. And then if one person buys, what happens?
Mob mentality.
Yeah, mob mentality. They all buy. Now Brandon's a pro fighter, and to fund his career, he's doing a Facebook ad agency on the side. And you ran, and you actually followed my advice.
Yes.
Unlike most of you guys. And you ran an ad for Greasy
Palm Harbor.
Greasy Palm Harbor, and you did the event. You did the event funnel.
We did a free women's self-defense seminar.
Just tell them.
Yeah, we did a free women's self-defense seminar. I spent $14 in ads. We got, he's maximum. He could probably fit more people, but he only wanted a maximum of 20 girls in that gym. So like, all right, we filled it. We did 25 in the event just because some didn't show up. So we ended up getting 20 people showing up, and then we got 5 people to sign a year contract at $150 a month. So you add all that together, that's $9 grand for $14 in ad spend.
So you spent $14.
$14.
That was all you spent?
All I spent.
What did you do? Run it for 2 days?
No, he actually. What happened is he had a Facebook ad up before, and like he had targeting from like all the he had like 25-mile radius from like every city in fucking Florida.
Yeah.
It was terrible. He was like halfway through his $30 campaign, and he had like $14 left. He's like, bro, you got to fix this. So I went in. I just did some quick customer research. I just followed the course. That's what I did. And then, we just did a basic event funnel, free women's self-defense seminar. He had like a stock photo too. It was terrible. But I cleaned it all up. And we got some crazy results.
So you spent on your ad a total of $14.
Yep.
And that brought in 20.
It brought in actually 20 people or 25 people confirmed on the event saying they were going. And it was like over 90 people saying that they were interested.
Right. So she did an event. Okay.
Yeah.
So 5 women purchased a 1-year contract at $150 a month.
Yes.
So the gross revenue and they could continue after a year. The gross revenue that they got on contract is $9,000 on $14.
And not only that, the people that also like joined or were interested in the group, I told the owner to keep updating in that group. And so some of them are still kind of in the process of figuring out.
Maybe signing up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's the thing, guys. I don't say this stuff for my health, okay? Event funnels, live event funnels, that's how, look, there is a bar. Here, I'll freaking show you, okay? I'll freaking show you, all right? Holy crap, all right? You see this bar right here, okay? There's a bar right down there. I used to own that bar, okay? I sold that bar for a $300,000 profit. And it took me 14 months. I bought it when it was completely dead, and I did event funnels. I brought people in for all kinds of like free, we did like free tournaments, free this, free that, and mob mentality, okay? The first night I owned that place, I did $20 all you can drink, including top shelf. Mm-hmm. I broke even on the night, but everybody knew where I was, and the bar was big. For the real estate, the condo place, $441 in ads, $900,000 in sales. Event funnel, mob mentality. It's the same thing as a webinar. You get people to your event, one person buys, mob mentality takes over, and everybody buys. $14 in ad spend, $14 and $9,000 in profit in contract revenue. Yeah, I mean, why aren't you guys doing more event funnels? Come on. I teach this stuff, all right? It's in the course. This is why, look, this is why you will have winners, and then you will have McDonald's managers, okay? The world needs both. Somebody needs to serve us our McNuggets, all right? Much love, guys. All right, so couple quick things. Don't expect to spend $14, make $9 grand. That was like a crazy fluke thing. Even if you spent $200-300, great. That was super impressive. If he can repeat that, that's amazing. But even if it $200, $300, $400, $500 to make $9,000, beautiful. So if you guys need, if anybody has a martial arts gym they need members for, get with Brandon. So a couple quick things from that video before because this is his campaign as well, this popcorn campaign. But a couple quick things on the event funnels. Guys, I mentioned this earlier, do event funnels. When I did my, when I packed out my bar the first night, I did an event funnel. I gave away top shelf, $20, all you can drink. Talk about a crazy discount. Everybody knew where I was. Now, I screwed that up because then I did that stupid piano bar crap, and I was slow for several weeks, and then I went back and, you know, changed it, and everything was good. But I still blew it up, and everybody knew where I was. And I broke even on that night, but then after that, you know, my club was on the map. So he did the customer research, he did the copy, he did all that, and it worked. Now, this right here is a popcorn ad. We talked about this a little bit when he was doing it. Let's take a look at how, and this is popcorn, guys. It's gourmet popcorn. It's a small place in Tampa. It's called Chef Inspires Gourmet Popcorn. Now, how many of you guys off the top of your head can be like, oh, I can create copy for popcorn? I mean, it's tough, right? It's just popcorn. How do you create something for popcorn? So here's what we did. We did Hey Soho. Now, Soho is an area of Tampa, and that's where it's located, and it's kind of a nickname. So when you say Hey Soho, only people from Soho know that. So that's a call out. All right? So Hey Soho, love popcorn. That's another call out. If you don't love popcorn, then you're not going to care about the rest of the ad. So love popcorn. Tag someone who would love this popcorn. And then what we did was we used a collage of really vibrant images to catch their eye. Because when you see popcorn, and it's just popcorn, nobody cares. But when you see popcorn that's bright green and violet and red and blue and all crazy, you're like, what the hell is that? Catches their attention. It's kind of a pattern interrupt. So what I did was I used what they already had. And I'm like, all right, if we show an image of this crazy popcorn that nobody's ever seen before, that's a pattern interrupt. That's going to catch their attention. So that's what we use for the images. And then awesome, you haven't, and here's kind of a story, but and the awesome thing, or I'm sorry, the why you need it. Again, you can change the order of these a little bit. You haven't had popcorn until you've had chef-inspired gourmet popcorn flavors, including salted caramel, cookies and cream, garlic sriracha, bacon cheddar, double fudge brownies, apple strudel, and many more. So again, whoa, like who has here ever heard that popcorn flavors like that? Like nobody, right? This guy has. But what I'm saying here is it's a weird thing. So you tell a story and you're like, hey, you know, here's this crazy stuff. It gets people's attention and they get excited. Stop by our location at 927 South Howard Avenue. Bring in a coupon and get buy one, get one free. Click here to get your coupon. So as you see, we rearranged and we even took out some of the stuff. We didn't need the credibility because it's just fucking popcorn. So we didn't need any credibility. I mean, kind of, because it says, you know, chef-inspired gourmet popcorn. Oh, a chef made it. So there's credibility there. But do you notice, guys, how copy is not an exact science? You can't just say what will work for popcorn is going to work for life coaching. You can't just plug in a formula. What you can do is you can hit these basic elements, or even most of them, and it'll work. Look at the results. We had a shit ton of comments, a shit ton of opt-ins, and guys, I never expected him to pull a front-end ROI on this campaign. I really didn't. I thought they would just get some awareness, get people in the door. They pulled an ROI. He literally had enough people come in and buy more popcorn. They came in for the buy one, get one free and buy more popcorn that not only covered what they spent on this ad, but made some profit. Now, when it comes to restaurants and places like this, profit is hard. When you're running ads for restaurants and things like that, as long as you're getting more people in the door and they're coming back and they're telling their friends, for restaurants and places like, they're happy with that because that is what it's all about. Bars, restaurants, they need more people to know, they need more people to come. It's very hard harder to get a huge ROI or any ROI on something as popcorn. But he did. He still got an ROI. And it all came down to injecting very simply these elements of copy. Now, again, guys, if you can come up with a great story about chef-inspired popcorn, like for instance, let's say you were a chef, you made popcorn, you had this crazy video, and you were like, I love popcorn, and you have this, crazy shots of them making the popcorn and this story behind this chef who wants to change the world of popcorn and all this stuff. It could be entertaining, it could be a story of this chef and people could relate. But guys, if you get a client, what are you going to tell them? You're going to say, hey, we're going to send a video crew out and record your story and take all this crazy stuff? You could, it'll work, but most of the time the client's going to be like, oh, I don't want to pay for that, whatever. Just run something simple like this, and you can still get them results. And guess what? Brandon's getting paid. He's getting paid. So don't think that just because you have something super, super low on the value scale, you can't write good copy to get an ROI. You guys can. All right. In your workbooks, which I don't have one up here, there are some sheets. Let me have one of these. Here, I'll get it. Well, so in your workbook, I believe I put in some copy stuff here. Hopefully I did. Killer Ad Copy Workshop. So here's what I want you guys to do. You can do this multiple times. If you have a business, what I would do is I would think about, if it's super low on the value scale like popcorn, you don't really need to run customer research. But if it's anything higher and you have a business, you're going to need to do customer research. But what you should do here is you should fill this out. You should write down a customer call out, write down a story, credibility, awesome thing, where, why you want it, and then take those and choose something like honest, entertaining, or human. Choose that attraction, write it in that tone, take these elements, and you don't even have to use all of them depending on what you're selling, okay? Like I said, guys, it's very hard to teach copy because copy is such a unique and personal thing. But if you can take these basic elements, or most of them, they will work for almost anything. I ran out of time here, but I'd like, if we can get 5 minutes, I'd like to see if we can take a couple questions, because I think we could learn a lot from a couple questions on copy. Can we get a mic and just do like 4 or 5 questions? Anybody have a question about copy? Right here.
In terms of the mob mentality, have you ever planted someone in the audience to buy to kind of instigate that?
That is called a shrill, I believe. Is it called a shrill? That's illegal.
It is?
Shill? Yeah, it is very illegal.
Okay,
you can't
don't
do
do
that. However, what you could do, I think, is let's say somebody was planning on buying something. Let's say you had an event and you knew somebody was going to buy something and they just wanted to give you a credit card. Hey, listen, we're actually doing this event. You want to just come to the event? You can get it there. I guess you could do that. But no, if you plant somebody to do that, put it this way, it works so well that they made a law against it. I'm just gonna say that. You guys can do that with what you will with that. So, we got another question about copy? Yeah, right here.
Real quick. And just wondering, does it make a difference between like a boosted post in that situation, or using an ad manager, or?
The only time I use boosted posts is for something quick, like for instance, I did this might be an upcoming presentation. Did I tell you guys how I did the, yeah, okay, so remember when I did the Ask Camp, or in the affiliate marketing thing where I did the cheater interviews, which, just to recap that real quick, let's say I want to promote V2 Cigs, right? So I go out, I make a post and say, hey, did you quit smoking with V2 Cigs? If so, we'd love to hear your story. You use the 15 minutes of fame bait. You say, we're writing an article in a magazine or whatever. We'd love to hear your story about quitting smoking. And then they see that, they comment, you get with them, you do a Skype interview, you take that, opt-in, landing page, show them the interview, button below, going to the affiliate product. Job is done, making an affiliate commission. So how do you get traffic to that? So that's a case where I would do a boosted post. I would just like V2 Cigs, $20, go. And it worked. And I had tons of responses. But for anything more complicated than that, I don't even like the regular ads manager. And as you'll see in the next presentation, which you guys are going to love the next presentation from me, where I go into targeting, retargeting, all that good stuff, I do some crazy shit with that, and I have to have the power editor, okay? Because I make all different versions and all kinds of crazy stuff, and so you just can't do that with a boosted post. They give you a very limited amount of tools, and you just can't do anything but super basic, so that's why I don't boost posts. Anybody else? God damn, you guys are copy rock stars. Again, this stuff is hard to teach because, again, copy is such a personal thing. Does anybody have an example of a story? Oh, right over here? Okay.
What do you think is the number one roadblock people encounter with copy? Like, what is something that you think they're overthinking and that that sort of stumbles them in the process?
I think one of the things with copy is people are always looking for systems. And when you look for a system for copy, you kind of take the personality of it. Now, like for instance, there's a product called, the ClickFunnels product called Funnel Scripts, okay? That what it does is it assembles the points. So it tells you, talk about this, then this, then this, then this, and put it in this order. Some people mistake that, and they literally print it out and make it their copy. Yeah, exactly. You can't do that. You have to look at it and then edit it. You have to look at it and then go, okay, I'm supposed to say this thing here. Well, what is that thing? All right? So I like to base my copy off customer research. So to give you an example, let's say, we'll take my Facebook ads course, for example. If I'm saying, hey, do you want this thing without this thing? So like something with Funnel Scripts, or if you bought any sort of system, they're just going to say literally that, hey, I want this thing without this thing. You still have to figure out what those things are and say it. So hey, I want to run, so I'll give you guys an example. When I first launched my Facebook ads course, I just wanted to teach Facebook ads. Because to me, running Facebook ads for things like courses is so much more of an art than running things for local businesses, restaurants. That's just so like mundane. So I didn't really include that because I was an idiot and I didn't think about my customer. I didn't include that. So once I actually reached out more and more and more and figured it out, I found out they were really interested in the agency stuff. So I shifted and I based my copy off that. I found out that people wanted to run ads for clients and they were scared that they couldn't get results. So I just took that and plugged it into my copy. And a lot of the copy stuff we've covered actually throughout this, like the this, not that, all that, you can interject all that into this system. So for instance, do you want this thing, click here. You could do you want this thing, do you want this desire without this pain? You know, without this roadblock, click here, all right? In terms of telling your story, that's the one thing you can't ask from your customers. But what you can do is you can relate it to your customer so that they have the same epiphany, all right? So if, give you an example, who here started their business because something happened to them? Okay, can we get him a mic?
Raise your hand.
Yeah. What do you sell?
I make software that helps people with their credit.
Okay,
But,
perfect.
A bank error fucked up my credit.
Okay.
And I had to learn how to fix my credit. And in learning how to fix my credit, I kept thinking, there must be software for this. And I kept searching for it. There wasn't any. And I thought, aha, this is my way out of, I was in show business before that. And I thought, this is my way out of show business. I knew nothing about software. Took me years, but I built up a business that now makes millions of dollars.
Awesome, awesome. Give him a round of applause. Okay, so hold on, keep the mic on him. All right, so at the end of the day, are you selling credit, you're selling software access to people who want to repair their credit, or credit repair agents?
Well, first it started as for consumers. And I thought, oh, this isn't going to be an infomercial product. But no, it ended up becoming something that other people would use to help their clients. So now I've got to teach people that business. So
what
now
is your? Well, just pick one. What's your main product?
it's a
For
turnkey
consumers.
business to run a credit repair business.
Okay, so perfect. So here's the thing. Somebody who wants to repair their credit and somebody who wants to run a business for repairing credit are two totally different people. Okay? Sometimes people mistake that. So, for instance, if you wanted to sell the software to people, I would tell my story of how I would say let's see, where's so I'd say having bad credit sucks, or everybody has bad credit today, don't they? 10 years ago, I was unable to buy a home my dream home because of something stupid. It wasn't even my fault. The bank messed up on my credit, and it was an error that took months and months and months to resolve. And maybe you hired a credit repair company? They took too long, or
No.
Okay. Well, what else? So what happened that prevented you from doing what you wanted to do?
I just had to learn how to contact all the different creditors, and
Why didn't you hire a credit repair company?
because I was really pissed. It was a bank error. I hadn't messed
Okay,
up
so
my own credit.
a bank messed up my credit, and it left a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't want someone else. If a bank could mess, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
If a bank could mess up my credit, a big, huge national bank, then some small-time credit repair guy, he could definitely mess up my credit. So I needed to take matters into my own hand. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. So that's when I set out to learn exactly how to do everything I needed to repair my credit, and knew I was doing it right because I was the one doing it. That was 10 years ago. I realize today that it's easier if you know what you're doing to repair your credit yourself, but it takes time to learn. And that's why I developed this software. It's plug and play. It's based on everything I learned. It's based on 10 years of repairing people's credits. It's plug and play. If you have bad credit, you can plug in the numbers, or you can plug in the information. You can hit a button, and it will do it all for you, and you don't have to worry about it. Mm-hmm. Works, and the consistent, do some testimonials, whatever. So just tell the story and basically tell them why they should come to the same realization you came to. All right. So for instance, you tell that story, and then the credibility results comes with that software with the 10 years.
Sure.
If you'd like a free demo of this, here we go. Let us prove it to you. Let us get one thing removed from your credit, or let us send, or whatever. I don't know your business. I'm not a credit repair guy. Let's do something, okay, for them that'll help them to prove to them that it works. All right, or whatever. I mean, you could give away a cheat sheet on repairing credit, but honestly, and that could work. You could do like 7 ways to repair your credit in 30 days. You show them the cheat sheet, and at the end, you say, "This is great. It works. It's a lot of work, but would you rather just punch a couple buttons and have it happen? Check out this demo here, or whatever." So whatever it is you choose, that's the awesome thing. Where can you get it? Click here. Why do you want it? If you want to get your credit repaired without worrying about somebody screwing it up, you want to make sure it's done right, then you can do it yourself with this extremely easy-to-use software, or you can do it yourself by reading this 7-step guide to repairing your credit in 30 days, whatever. Click here to get it, all right? That's it. So customer call out, the story you just told about the bank, you own a software company, and you're also teasing your product, and you got 10 years or whatever. Awesome thing is the cheat sheet, where, link, why you want it, so you can do it yourself. Improve your credit. Click through, and then now we get into the funnel stuff. Okay, that's where they read the cheat sheet, they get follow-up emails, send them to a demo, whatever. That's it. Okay, don't overcomplicate it. Just tell your story. Done. Does anybody else have a business? Over here, Robert. Get him a mic.
Hey, is this on?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
can hear you.
So I got a microphone. I got a speaker right next to my head. So in my business, I teach business owners how to create processes that allow them to either hire and train a team to run their whole business for them, or just set up software to do it so they don't have to do their business anymore.
All right, perfect. So, customer call out. So, have you done any customer research yet?
No.
All right, so let's just make some up, and then you can get the real stuff later. What's something that really just, you know, okay, I got it. Oh, here we go. Say this. Say, you think you're an entrepreneur, but you're really a slave.
Yeah.
Okay? An entrepreneur works on his business, not in it. You know, or you could be like, are you an entrepreneur or self-employed? An entrepreneur works on it.
Yep.
So that's your call out, right? People are like, so the attraction here is kind of a push. You're kind of like kind of being a little pissy with them.
Yeah.
And they're like,
being a little bit of a dick to get them to read it.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so you call them out. Story. All right, so why did you? What happened in your life that you could create this system?
It's funny. So I wound up getting into this because of that exact same thing. Someone had said that to me. And at the time, I was spending 80 hours a week running this like $2 million a year personal development company for someone else that was making all the profit. I was just a COO on salary. And I realized when I was spending 80 hours a week running this guy's business that not only was I doing all the work that I should be putting a process to and training other people to do, but I also wasn't making any of the money because it wasn't my business.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So X years ago, what did you say you were a CWO?
I was a chief operating officer.
Okay. So I was COO of a personal development company, and I was killing myself 80 hours a week, and I didn't even own the company.
Yep.
That's when I realized that I had to be able to do my job and still enjoy life. So I created, I started research, I mean, maybe you, I read every book under the sun, whatever happened, and I created 3 core processes that cut my work time in half. And instantly, over just these 3 processes, I went from 80 hours a week to 40. Okay? So right there, you covered your story. You covered your credibility because you told them about being a COO and all that. I'd like to give you this free PDF, this free training video, this free webinar, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. I'd like to give you this free guide, the 3 core steps to
automating, or 3 core steps to working half the time and getting.
No, wait, I got a better one.
Yeah.
How to cut your work hours in half using these 3 these 3 business processes, whatever.
Yep,
I mean, you figure it out later, okay? But that's essentially what you say, all right? Where can you get it? Click here to download it, enter your email, and I'll shoot it right over. Why do you want it? If you're working too much, too long, and too hard, and you want to instead enjoy life but still have your business run, if you want to be able to walk away and know that that phone ain't going to ring, download this guide.
Yeah, if that was said to me 2-3 years ago when I was running that company.
You give me your fucking email.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
I'd be all over it.
All right, does everybody see how you can take any story and put it into this format? Any story, okay? Anything you're selling and put it into this format, and people will download your shit. Okay? That's it. All right? Just figure it out. Just look at it, make it happen, call them out, do all this, because at the end of the day, your customer wants something. If you can solve one problem, there you go. All right, one more. Let's get Sean. Let's get Sean here.
Actually, I have a question about story. In the story, when working for clients, because the agency and I'm doing weight loss clients, we're trying to create ads that incorporate the story of like testimonies, because the doc themselves that I'm working with doesn't necessarily have their story. Would you interweave?
No, it doesn't
the
matter.
story?
It could be anybody's story as long as it's, it doesn't. Oh, here's another thing, guys. If you look at the the MMA one, the mock MMA one I did, what was the story I told? It was a study of University of Oregon that said that, whatever women who took self-defense were 10 times or 50%, whatever it was, less likely to get sexually assaulted. That's still a story, okay? I mean, it's not, now, could we make a better story? Let's say the MMA fighter's wife had a terrible thing happen to her, and she was determined to learn, okay, that would be great. But what if she didn't? what if that didn't happen? What if you don't have that? Okay, if you don't have that, if you can't create it, if there's nothing there for that, you can still go grab something from the news. Okay, maybe it'll cost you another $1 or $2 per opt-in because maybe it's not tugging the heartstrings as much, but who cares? You still have. If you stick to this format, it'll still work. Even if it works good enough to get them a great ROI. I mean, listen, guys, what did I say about charisma and non-charisma? If you got charisma, if you got this incredible story of triumph, okay, it's going to be easy. But if you don't, you can still use this format. You can make it happen. All right? We do one more. I'll do one more right here, and then that's my time.
Hi. So I manufacture a product for snoring and sleep apnea. It's a mouthpiece
Okay.
that I invented, patented, trademarked, FDA cleared. Basically, my dentist made me one that was $3,000. It broke. I decided to create my own product, and now I sell millions of dollars worth of it.
Oh,
And usually
awesome.
it's a wife that buys it for her husband, or a man who is keeping his wife awake because of his snoring.
How much is it?
$79.95.
$79.95. Okay. So in this situation, it's worth it. See, the women are like, hell yeah. Okay. So in this situation, since it's under $100, we can do something a little bit different. All right. So I'm assuming, listen, guys, you can't do a cheat sheet on how to make your husband snore less. That's ridiculous. Okay.
I have a PDF, like a 33 tips to sleeping better, that I
Okay.
try to, sell to people, but
How's
they may
that
not
follow-
snore.
Yeah. How's that working?
I would say it's okay. It's not that great.
It's not that great, okay. The reason it's not that great is because sleeping better and a pissed off wife about snoring are really not the same thing. They're kind of close, but you're not specifically hitting that desire and that
Right.
pain, okay? So have you guys ever seen the ads? Like, have you ever seen that pimple thing where they're scraping the pimple thing, and they literally just link right to the sales page, okay? Here's, and I wasn't planning on doing this today. It's in my course, but a video retargeting method, but here's what you can do. Make a video of a husband like just really obnoxious, right? Okay, and the wife is just like, "Argh," okay, and in your copy you go, sick of your husband, and again you got to do the customer research and see how they talk, but basically say, sick of your husband snoring, and you can even be funny about it. You could be like, every year. 17 billion women commit suicide because their husbands snore. No, not really, but it still sucks, or something like that. We're the snore factory, whatever. And this is, and this is the Snorealyzer, whatever. You can buy it here. Why do you want it? If you want your husband to stop snoring, this is what you need. And then I would always do tag a woman that would love this, okay? Tag a woman that would love this, okay? That way you get the shares, okay? Then what you do is, and here's the key, pay attention to this. You make a very, very funny video so it's like viral, so it goes viral, like make it really, okay? Run a video view campaign. Then run a retargeting campaign for people that watched at least 50% of the video. Make an audience, people that watch 50% of the video, and you'll get a ton of people that it went viral for as well. And on that, say, hey, I see you were checking out the Snorealyzer. Don't forget, you can still get yours here, and you can inject scarcity, like say it's $79.95 this week, or give them at that point you give them a coupon. You say, it's $79.95, but you can get this $15 off coupon right now. Click here, get the coupon, get them on a list, sell them, boom, 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 okay? And even though you're not building a list on the first one, you're still building that audience, that video audience. Now there's a million different ways you could do this. You could go right for the coupon on the video. You could do both. You could say, it's $70.99, get your coupon. You could do a million different things. But I've seen so many products do so well with a viral video, and then you retarget that video that people watch 50% or more, and you take them right to the sales page. If it is a product that's like 20, 30, 40 bucks, 79 is pushing it, but if it's under 100 bucks and it's really cool, you can sell it right off of a Facebook ad, especially if you keep hitting people up with that retargeting ad, and especially if it's cool. Honestly, that would be the first thing I would try in your case, and I would tweak it from there. Remember, guys, it's not about knowing exactly what to do right away. It's about getting in the ballpark and then testing it and finding that winning ad. Again, roll the dice. You hit a 3, you hit a 4, you hit a 6, boom, you hit a 7, okay? But if you learn some dice control, you can hit that 7 quicker. Does that help?
It does. And would the video be on the mouthpiece or on getting sleep or stopping snoring, all three?
You can go right to the product. No, just make it funny, go right to the product. Make it a square video, 1,000 pixels by 1,000, so that it takes up their entire phone, not a widescreen video, okay? Put a black bar across it with your customer call out. Black bar, sick of your husband snoring. Or tag a woman that feels this pain. Ooh, tag a woman that feels this pain. Okay, make sure the thumbnail is like the husband snoring or something, or and the wife looking mean. Make it super funny. Show the pain, then show what happens with the product. You can even get some like really, crazy guy to go like, "Are you sick of your husband keeping you up all night snoring?" And then you show the pain, and then you go, "Well, this is the Snoralizer. Watch this." Okay? And then she's like, "Ah." And you can make it so over the top that you're like overly promoting, but because you're overdoing it, it's funny. Has anybody ever seen the ad for the potty thing? Squatty Potty. Okay? That was the best ad ever. I mean, the unicorn is shitting rainbow poop and the children are eating it. Okay? That's amazing. All right? That's getting so many and they went right to the sales page because it's not that expensive and it's so unique and it's so funny, okay? And that's it. Like for instance, with that popcorn stuff, if he was selling online, I'd go right to the sales page. I'd go right to it because it's a commodity. It's a low-cost thing. It's not fucking life coaching, okay? You can't be like, "Hey, my life coaching is $3,000. Click here to buy." Can't do that, all right? But popcorn, Snoozalizer, what's the product called?
It's called Vital Sleep.
What is it?
Vital Sleep?
Vito Sleep?
Yes.
Okay, Vito Sleep. Yeah, that's it. You just go right to the sales page. Okay. All right, has this been helpful for everybody? Yeah. Okay. All right, once again, guys, I wish I could just hand you copy, but copy is the one thing that is so much more complicated than that. So I thank you guys so much. Hope this is helpful.